Hey YouTube, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the cubes I got in 2017. So in the past, at the end of every year, I've always done a cube collection video, and I do really enjoy making those videos, but I realized between this year and last year I've gotten about 20 new cubes. That's not really a huge difference from the 114 I had last year, so I decided instead of going through those 114 cubes all over again, because I've done that so many times now, I'm just going to leave a link in the description and a card right here on screen where you can watch my 2016 cube collection, and then these will just be the new cubes that I've added to my collection since then. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the 3x3s. So the first 3x3 that I got this year is this one. Now this 3x3 is really special to me. So it is the GAN 473, which is a one-of-a-kind, well I shouldn't say one-of-a-kind, seven-of-a-kind cube that was sent to me by Felix Zemdegs, and this is actually the cube he used to break his world record of 4.73 seconds, hence the name GAN 473. So it's actually just a GAN Air UM, but it's a prototype version, so it's not exactly the same as the UM, which makes this extremely rare. Okay, so next, not nearly as rare, I have a Yan Chang Yan 3. Now, this cube was just given to me by Avocado, #Cuber. Shout out to her, she just had it in her collection and didn't really need it, so I was like, I'll take it off your hands. Next is this cube. This is actually very old school. This is a Rubik's brand, and it's painted. So this was given to me at Nationals by Throst, who is the first cubing YouTuber, which I think is really cool. So this is a really cool cube to have in my collection, and it's not really that good. He says it was lubed with Vaseline, but it's still pretty fun to have, and I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, painted Rubik's 3x3. Next up, here we have the Moyu Weilong GTS2M. This is a really nice cube. This is the mass-produced version. I really like this cube, and it would be my main if I hadn't gotten this one, which is another Moyu Weilong GTS2M, but this is the Cube Depot Rocket version. And this cube also has a magnetic levitation system in it for the springs and screws. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but whatever they did to it, it's really good, and I really like this cube. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to pick it up at Cube Depot, and you can save 5% off with the discount code DGCubes. And finally, we have this cube. So there's a funny story behind this. This is the X-Timer XV6 Anti-Pop 3x3 Speed Cube, named the best speed cube by the Guatemala Times. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link in the description to the Dilsoni podcast, where we read an article that stated that this cube is the best 3x3 speed cube on the market. I don't agree. It's okay, but it has some weird lockups, and it's not magnetic, and honestly, it's just okay. But I got this from Adam, or the Rubik's Cubes. He gave this to me as a gift for signing him up for the Liberty Science Center competition, because otherwise he would have missed the registration deadline. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool cube. Really, it's just fun to have as a joke. Okay, so now we're going to be taking a look at the 5 N×N×N puzzles that I've gotten this year. So first we'll look at the 4x4s. So this is a Chi Wuchui 4x4. Honestly, nothing that special about it. This was my main up until I got this cube, which is a Cube Depot Rocket Yushin Blue M, so it's magnetic. But yeah, this is a really nice cube. I really like it. It is my current main for 4x4. Sometimes I will get a couple lockups if I'm turning roughly, but it's still a really nice cube, and it is my favorite 4x4 in my collection. This is the Cube Depot Rocket Chi Wushuang M. So this is a magnetic 5x5, and it's really nice. So the magnets are pretty strong on both the inner and outer layers, and it's just it's fun to turn slowly, it's fun to turn quickly, and honestly, it made me about 15 seconds faster on 5x5, but yeah, I would highly recommend that you check out this cube if you're into 5x5. Next up, we have this Chi Wuhua. It's the version 1. It is not magnetic, just a regular old 6x6. And I'm not a huge fan of it. It locks up a decent amount, but it is my main because it's better than all the other 6x6s I have. But it's kind of a last resort cube, but it's alright. And last but not least is the Chi Wuji 7x7, not magnetic, but a really nice 7x7. I don't really have any trouble with it. Sometimes some caps will fall off, but besides that, it's really good. Way better than the cubic Aufu that I used as my main last year. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at the WCA puzzles that I got this year that are not N×Ns. So here we have two Pyraminxes. This one is my second Moyu magnetic Pyraminx. I used it as my main for a really long time, but it really doesn't fit my turning style all that well, and I realized that a couple months ago. So I decided to pick up an X-Man Bell, which I had never actually owned before, and it's not a new cube by any means, but it's really good, and it is definitely my main over the Moyu magnetic. I am a huge fan of this cube, and it got me an official 2.56 average, which currently puts me at 9th in the world, so yeah. Next we have a couple Megaminxes. So this is an X-Men Galaxy Megaminx. I did have one of these last year, but I lost it, so I got another one. and this is my current main. The pieces are sculpted, which makes it really easy to grip, and it's just a really good puzzle overall. I really like it. And here I also have a Yushin Megaminx. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think one of the corners is actually broken, so it's practically unusable. So yeah, this really isn't anything all that great, but I do have it, and I did get it this year. And finally, this is the X-Man Wingy Scube. So this is basically the only concave Scube on the market, and I really, really like it. Ever since I've switched to this, every other Scube I've tried has felt pillowed, just because I'm so used to this concave feeling. And honestly, I think it's really the only Scube worth getting at this point. It's really, really nice. Okay, so next up, non-WCA stuff. Alright, so the first puzzle I'm going to talk about here is this. This is a YJ. I'm not really sure what it is. It's some kind of ball, and basically the way it works is you push these pieces through the center, and it's kind of like a 15 puzzle, except in 3 dimensions. The goal is just to match the ball with the ring on each side, and there are 12 of them. I actually got this before I started cubing, but I realized I never showed it on my channel, and it kind of is like a Rubik's Cube in a way, so I figured I'll include it in this year's cube collection video. Alright, next is this. Now this is a 1x1x2 that I made out of paper. So one morning I was bored and I decided I would make a 1x1x2, so I just used a paper fastener and some paper and tape and stickers, and it doesn't really do much, but it's pretty fun to have. Next up is this Moyu ReadyCube. I did a lot of ReadyCube this year. Now this puzzle is just super, super fun. I actually held a couple unofficial world records at one point for ReadyCube. I don't think I do anymore, but when it first came out, I was one of the only people speed solving it, and it was a really fun time. So I did hundreds of ReadyCube solves this year. It's really, really fun. This is the Chi Ivy Cube. So it's basically like a Scube, but a lot simpler because it has less pieces. It's pretty cool. I like it. Very, very simple to solve, but yeah, cool puzzle. So next up we have this, which is a Valk 3 made to look like a die. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is a really fun puzzle to solve, and this was given to me at Nationals this year by Daniel Wagoner. So shout out to him. This was really cool, really awesome gift, and I really like this puzzle. Very cool. And finally, the last cube we're going to be covering in this video is the Wit Eden Mix-Up Cube. So I did just make a video of this, an unboxing of it, and it's a really, really fun puzzle. For those of you who don't know, the way it works is it turns like a normal 3x3, but you can also make 45-degree turns, and then it still turns through. So it can shapeshift like crazy. It's a really, really cool puzzle, and I really enjoy this. I figured out how to solve it on my own, so that was a really fun time. But yeah, so this is a really cool cube, and I would strongly recommend it. But yeah, so these are all the puzzles I got this year in 2017. Like I said earlier, make sure to check out my 2016 cube collection video to see all the puzzles that were not featured in this video that I have in my collection. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. That's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.